Downtown Hamilton smells like cat pee. There's needles by the playground, and realtors are still trying to convince you that this place is up and coming. This isn't a comeback story, it's a crisis. And if you've lived here long enough, you don't need a headline to tell you exactly what's happening. You've seen it, you've felt it, and part of you wants to leave too. This is Hamilton 2025, and we need to talk. Stick around. You'll get the truth that no one is saying publicly. You'll see why homes are sitting, why buyers are bouncing, and why the value play is nearly dead. I'll even give you the exact seller guide I use with my clients. So in case you want to get out of here, you can do it profitably. Now let's talk Hamilton, because the word I keep hearing lately is dump. Harsh? Maybe, but take a drive downtown. Tent cities, needles, shattered glass, trash everywhere, empty storefronts. This used to be the city of steel. Now it's a city of stalling listings. You know it, I know it, and buyers definitely know it. They come from Toronto expecting a deal, then they see a $750,000 semi-detached house with duct tape on the windows and a person outside yelling at a tree. They're out. They're heading to Niagara, Brantford, Nova Scotia, anywhere with peace, space, and a shred of hope. This is what I've seen firsthand. Families cashing out of Hamilton Mountain, Stony Creek, East End Hamilton, and moving out of town. One guy told me last week, straight up, $600,000 for a bungalow, and I still have to dodge zombies on Barton Street. I'm done. And the sad thing is, this isn't a one-off. This is every single week. This is Hamilton 2025. And here's the most savage part. The people moving out, they aren't broke, they aren't struggling, they're smart, and they're realizing the market has peaked, and they're making their move. Because if you bought here in 2013, 2015, 2017, you're sitting on gold, but gold melts when the fire hits. And the fire is already lit. Let's talk about value. When I bought here for the first time, it was back in 2015. It was gritty, prostitutes fighting on Barton Street, stabbing at a Tim Hortons downtown that I saw the first time I was in town. It was ugly, but it was cheap. You could get a detached bungalow for $200K and you sucked it up because the value made sense. Now, house for $550K, same neighborhood or worse, same issues, only bigger, only you're paying GTA price for none of the perks. Affordability's dead, but tax is still climbing, crime through the roof. And what are we getting? An LRT, maybe someday, an overdose crisis, more shelters, more tents, and more excuses. Meanwhile, you got buyers saying, I don't care if it's 30 minutes closer to work. It's not worth the stress. And here's the part that should shake you if you're a homeowner. These buyers, they aren't coming from out of town anymore. The out of town buyers, the so-called Torontonians that we used to complain about so much, that scooped up our inventory like hotcakes, gone. Work from home, gone. The hype is gone. The arbitrage is gone. And what's left is a high entry point and a low emotional return. Let that land because this matters. If nobody new is coming in and the people that are here are leaving, what happens to the prices? Exactly. That's why if you're holding a property here, you don't wait for CHCH to confirm the crash. You move before the market moves on you. I saw it happen in 2017. Sellers got greedy. They waited too long. Foreign buyer tax hit. Boom. 80K vanished overnight. Same houses, same staging, same strategy. Totally different results because of the timing. Don't be that story. If you're even thinking about selling, get my free seller's guide. I'll show you how to prep your house, how to price it, and how to beat the home sitting stale 3 streets over. And if you want my honest take on your home, book a strategy call. No pressure, no BS, just data, logic, and a plan to get you top dollar before the music stops. Now back to Hamilton. We used to be the best kept secret in Ontario. Solid jobs, cheap homes close to Toronto. Now it's not a secret. It's a warning. Buyers say it to me all the time. It's simply not worth it. That line hit me really hard because when buyers feel like they're compromising, they don't offer, they don't bid, they move on. And here's what makes it even worse. If you got an average detached home listed downtown Hamilton for $699K and people doing the heroin dance 2 blocks over, here's what buyers now see. And if you think they're ignoring it, you're totally wrong. They're comparing you to Grimsby, St. Catharines, Welland, sometimes Nova Scotia, newer homes, bigger lots, less noise, and lower taxes. And they're choosing elsewhere. So where does that leave you? Here's the truth. Right now, you still have leverage if you've owned for a while. Inventory is climbing, demand is somewhat fractured, but the second everyone catches on, that window shuts. Because when sellers all rush to the market at once, buyers have options. Prices get soft. Your $750K dream price becomes a $660,000 regret. So you've got 2 choices right now. Wait and hope or act with strategy. And strategy means prep smart, price sharp, and launch like a campaign, not a classified ad. That's what I help people do every single day. Here's what nobody's saying. Hamilton didn't just get expensive. It got expensive and unbearable. That's the combo that kills real estate momentum. You can be ugly and cheap or nice and pricey. But if you're ugly and pricey, you get skipped. Let me give you the numbers. According to CREA, the average sale in Hamilton is floating somewhere in and around $800,000. That's for what? A 3-bedroom detached 1970s wartime bungalow. Meanwhile, the same money in St. Catharines gets you a modern 4-bedroom, 2-car garage and a finished basement. 15 minutes from some of Canada's nicest wineries. Buyers are doing the math every single day. And here's the kicker. Interest rates are still high. So carrying that $800,000 home costs more than ever. If buyers are going to overpay, they want a damn good reason to do it. Hamilton used to be that reason. Now buyers tour the house here and say, okay, cool. And why is that man yelling at a parked car across the street? Actually happened. And that kills my listings all the time. And it's frustrating. A buyer was ready to offer, walked out to the sound of some guy screaming at invisible dogs. They ghosted. Didn't even look back. Now imagine being that seller. You staged, you scrubbed, you paid $1,500 prepping your house. And then a showing ends with a dude howling at the clouds. That's Hamilton today. You feel it. I feel it. Buyers definitely feel it. Let's talk about that ship. A few years ago, Hamilton had pull. People were coming in from Mississauga, North York, Vaughan, anywhere throughout Toronto. They trade a shoebox condo downtown Toronto for a real house. It felt smart. Today, most out-of-town buyers are gone. The work from home flood dried up. Companies are calling people back to the office, and no one's paying $4,000 a month to live in chaos and commute. So what's left? Local buyers. And guess what? Most of them can't afford to buy here. They're squeezed. We just haven't moved in years, but mortgage stress tests, insurance, utilities, groceries, all going up every single day. StatsCan Canada shows net migration out of Hamilton is double digits in the last couple of years. More people leaving than arriving. Let that sink in. You don't need an economics degree to understand what that does to home values. Less demand, more supply. You know how it ends. Now here's the brutal truth. Even if you love your house, buyers don't care. They care about what it feels like to live on your street. If there's a meth tent next to a school, they walk. If there's graffiti on the neighbor's garage or sirens at midnight every single night, they walk. If your street smells like marijuana and trash, guess what? They walk. They're not irrational. They're just not desperate anymore. And that's the shift. In 2020, they would fight over anything with a roof. Now, they'll scroll past the listing in 2 seconds if it doesn't look perfect. And if it's in a sketchy area, forget about it. They'll go to Binbrook and buy a new construction home with beautiful trails and nice farmland and plenty of space for their family. You want Savage? Here's Savage. Your $850K Hamilton listing that's 1,500 square feet is competing with 2,200 square feet out in Thorold with a double garage, a 50-foot wide lot, and you don't have to watch someone getting arrested at a gas station on the way home from work. That's the level of comparison happening right now. And most sellers are getting blindsided. You list based on what the house down the street sold for 8 months ago, or even better, 3 years ago back in the pandemic. Then you slash your price. Then you wonder what the hell went wrong. Here's what went wrong. You didn't adapt to the new psychology of the market. Buyers aren't chasing anymore. They're cherry picking. And if your listing doesn't feel like an escape, priced with absolute precision, they're not clicking. That's where I come in. When I list a property, I'm not just posting it on the MLS and praying. We're reverse engineering the sale right from the beginning. I know who the buyer is. I know what they hate. I know what they compare to, and I build everything around that. Photos, shoot it like a luxury ad. Staging, light, bright, Airbnb clean. The listing copy, written with emotion and search optimized. Video, short, viral, optimized for YouTube, Instagram, and Google. That's why my listings get offers while others sit on the market and rot. But here's the truth. Even the best marketing in the world won't save you from waiting too long. If you list after a flood, you're just another option. In a market with options, the best prepped home wins. The rest, they chase, they rot, they cut, they regret. So if you're still watching this, it means you already feel the shift. You know the city's changing, you know buyers are changing, and you know what's working against you. You've got the equity, but the equity isn't a guarantee. It's a window. And that window, it's closing fast. So here's your move. Step 1, download my free seller's guide. It's not fluff. It's field-tested systems that I've used to help hundreds of homeowners in Hamilton sell faster and for more. Step 2, book a strategy call with me. I'll tell you exactly what your home's worth, what to fix, what to skip, and whether or not you should even be thinking about selling your house right now. And yeah, the call is totally free, no pressure. Just real strategy from someone who's in it every single day, helping sellers exit clean, not get crushed. Now, here's the truth. A lot of people I talk to lately, they're tired of the struggle, tired of prices, tired of hearing that Hamilton is still up and coming, while their street feels like it's falling apart. They're not bashing this city. They're not bitter. They just want something better for themselves, for their kids, for their peace of mind. And maybe you feel the exact same way. Maybe you've got love for this place. Maybe you believe, like I do, that Hamilton still has potential, but belief doesn't change your day to day. If your lifestyle doesn't match your mortgage, if you can't walk down the block without worry, If your equity is locked in a house that you don't love anymore, you don't need to feel stuck. You need options. And that's what I give people. No pressure, no scare tactics, just strategy. Because maybe your next move isn't out of the province. Maybe it's just out of your current neighborhood, out of a townhouse that feels too tight, out of a downtown that no longer fits your life. You don't need to be angry to make change. You just need a plan. Download the free seller's guide right now, book a strategy call, and we'll set you up with one. What to fix, what to skip, how to price, how to sell before your listing goes stale. Book the strategy call, no obligation, no pressure. We'll look at your address, we'll look at your timing, we'll look at your goals, and build you a roadmap that gets you true results. If you're like me and you still have hope for the city, but you're unwilling to sacrifice your lifestyle or wait it out, let's talk. You've worked hard to build your equity. Let's make sure that you use it intentionally. Let's move smart. Let's move on your terms. My name is Mike Johnson. I help sellers exit with clarity, profit, and peace of mind. Click the link, grab the guide, book the call, and we'll build your next chapter together. Have a great day.